What is up, lead coders? We're going to talk about question 912 on LeetCode, sort and array. So basically all you have to do, you must solve the problem without using any built-in functions. No arrays.sort. And we have to use n log n in big old complexity. So the first thing that may have came to your mind is either to use quicksort or merge sort. Problem with quicksort is that this may not work because merge sort is always going to be n log n. I mean, the big O complexity is going to always be n log n. However, quicksort, you may have learned this, but it depends on the pivot. So depending on the pivot, in worst case scenarios, this may be the average, but in worst case scenarios, n squared may happen. In worst case scenarios, I'm not saying this always happens, but in worst case scenarios, n squared may happen because of your pivot, basically. So if you don't know what quicksort is, basically, quicksort is somewhat similar to merge sort, but it's not merge sort. But they basically have n log n runtime. But for quicksort, in worst time scenarios, it's usually faster than merge sort. But in worst cases, it's way slower because it's n squared. So we're going to ignore quicksort for now. We're going to explain merge sort. So merge sort is a divide and conquer type of algorithm. So we divide a question into smaller parts. And after we finished dividing the question into smaller parts, we're basically going to solve it, which means conquer. Conquer means basically, in this case, solve. Let's just say, and let's go through an example, 5, 2, 3, 1. And this is the example we're going to look at. So 5, 2, 3, 1. And the problem is, with this question is, we're going to use merge sort. So basically, if you know what merge sort basically does, with your algorithmic thinking, you're basically set. So first and foremost, as I told you, we're going to divide this question into smaller parts. So how are we going to divide 5, 2, 3? Sorry, this 2 looks so too horrendous. Even for me, I'm not a good writer, but even for me, this is too much. Okay, let's just write our 2 again. Let's just start again. We're off to a great start today. And okay, so 5, 2, 3, 1. The first thing you want to do in merge sort is always divide the array into 2 parts. 5, 2, 3, 1. Now these are separated basically. So we're gonna divide this into 5, 2, and 3, 1. I'm gonna put a stick here to basically show you guys that now this is split. So 5, 2 is a separate part, 3, 1 is a separate part. Now, after you do this, we're first going to work on our left part, and then we're going to go to our right. Okay, so this is going to be right for my code. So we're always going to work on the left side first. So this is the left side. So we're going to divide this further into 2 parts, basically 2, 5, or 5, 2, I guess. No, it's in this case it's 5, 2. Sorry, I got too excited trying to explain this. Not bad. That's 5, 2. And what I was trying to say is after we divide this into 5, 2, you will now realize we can't go further because we can't divide one element into a smaller element, right? So there's no 0.5 arrays. Basically, there's always going to be like one element in an array. So the length can't be 0.5. That's what I'm trying to say. So in an array, the length, smallest length basically it can have is basically 1 or 0. There's nothing such as like 0.5 arrays. So after we now these are finished, 5 and 2 are basically now the smallest point to where you can get. After you get into the smallest point you can get, we are now going to merge 2 and 5. So what is smaller between 2 and 5? Obviously 2 is going to be way smaller 5. So we're going to put 2 first and 5 after. We're going to repeat this, what we did under this left side. Now we're going to on the right side. Let's look at 3, 1 first. 3 and 1. We're going to first divide it. 3, 1. Again, you cannot divide a single element. Okay? You cannot divide a single element in an array into smaller parts, basically. Now we're going to conquer it, basically. We're going to go back and we're going to merge now. What is smaller, 1 or 3? You guessed it right. 1 basically smaller than 3. Now we have our halves, basically 2 and 5 and 1 and 3. So up till, let's just briefly go over what we just did. We're going to divide our array basically like we did 5, 2, 3, 1, divide that in half. So the length is 4, divided in half, that's going to be 2. Okay. We're going to have 2 elements in each array, 5, 2. But we're going 5, 2, 3, 1. But now we realize we can't, we divide 2 by 2. What's that going to be? It's going to be 1, right? We cannot do this in this case for arrays. This is not possible. So 5, 2, 3, 1 are the smallest parts. Now we're going to regroup that 5, 2. Regroup to 5. 3, 1, regroup, 1, 3, basically. Now we're going to keep on conquering this question, basically solving this question, and we're going to, you may have noticed this, but 2 is the smallest part in this 2, 5 array, because 2 is obviously going to be smaller than 5. That's why we put it up front, and that's the main reason why we put it up front. Compare 1 and 3, 1 is going to be smaller than 3. That's the main reason we put it in front. So in these 2 arrays, we're going to compare 1 and 2. What's smaller? 1. I'm going to cross that out real quick. Let's cross it out using blue. Okay. So after we cross out, we now are going to compare 2 to 3. So what's smaller? Obviously, 2 is smaller. So we're going to put 2 here. 3 and 5 was smaller. Obviously, again, 3 is smaller. And after that, we have one element left, which we are going to fill it with 5. This is basically your merge sort algorithm. Okay. Let's just quickly try one more example for you guys, and then let's move on. I don't want to do example 2 because it literally has the same amount of values, and I believe in these type of questions, it's better to do different types of questions. Let's just do, in this case, we're going to put 8 here, right? 5, 2, 3, 1, 8. You may have noticed this is now an odd number. So in this case, we're going to divide and conquer the question. It's the same logic. It's always the same logic. So don't be afraid of the question. Basically, we're going to divide this into half. Divide it in half, what's that going to be? It's going to be 2, right? So 2 is 3. Okay, so let's keep on going. I'm going to divide this part into 2 halves, 2 and 5. 5 and 2. We get to our smallest part. We cannot get any smaller than 5 or 2, basically, right? So we're going to conquer this. What is smaller? 2, 5. 2 is way smaller than 5. Let's get it. And after this, we're going to look at 3, 1, 8. Divide this part. We're always going to do left and then right. In this case, we are going to divide 3, 1, 8. Now, if we divide this is going to be our left part. It's going to be our right part. Okay. And you may have noticed, but 3, again, you cannot go any smaller than the value 3. So left part is now good. This is an L, by the way. Oh, sorry, guys. This is I'm so bad at handwriting. Okay, so let's look at 1 and 8. Okay, again, in 1 and 8, we're going to divide this into smaller parts. 1 and 8. Okay. And after this, we're going to compare 1 and 8. What's smaller, 1 or 8? 1 is going to be obviously smaller than 8. So this is how it's going to be. And now we come to here, this part. So we already did 3. We first did this part, and now we did these 2 parts. The right side. We're going to do the left side first, the right side next, and now we're going to basically try and merge these 2 parts. So between 3 and 1, 1 is way smaller. So it's going to be 1, 3, and 8. Now we are finished with our original right side. Basically, we are finished with, so this was our original left side. This 3, 1, 8 was our original right side. 5, 2 was our original left side. Now we have 2, 5 and 1, 3, 8. We're going to merge these 2. Between 1, let's just bring 2, 5, I guess, sort to here. And we're going to, what's smaller between 1 and 2? 1 is obviously smaller. Mark that out. Now we're going to put 1. Then 2 and 3. Well, again, 2 is smaller than 3. Mark that out. 2. Now we're going to compare 3 and 5. 3 is smaller than 5. Mark that out. Guys, if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll be glad to answer your questions. So look at 5 and 8. What is smaller? 5 is obviously smaller than 8, right? Cross out 5. And what we have left now is 8. So everything that's left, we're going to add that. This is going to be our answer. So basically, if we go over this idea one more time, we're not going to do an example. What I want is just go over the basic idea of this. So we're going to use merge sort. Merge sort is what? Merge sort is a divide and conquer method. Divide it, smaller parts, and then solve the question. Number 2, we're going to divide the array until it has 1 element. And after it has 1 element, we are going to solve this question. Number 3, after we finish dividing, now we are going to start conquering. And this is how you do. And we are back. Before usually in these type of videos, I usually code it out before I actually as I solve the question. But for merge sort, it's kind of the code is kind of long. But I think it would be better for me to explain what is going on. So basically, we're going to use recursion. Recursion is calling a method on itself. So basically, if you have print say hello world, right? If you keep calling say hello world with on itself, which you can actually do, that's called recursion. And we're going to first, as we said, we're going to get our length, numbers on length, and we're going to divide it into two. And after that, we're going to fill our left side with the right side. We fill our left, so this part is we are filling out our left part. This part, we are filling out our right part, basically. And after you're done filling out your left part, right part, we are going to call the method itself on itself, which is called recursion. Sort array, this left part. So the reason I always said left part is going to be faster than right part is because we're going to call on this. And we're going to call, let's just say we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I did a period, but let's just say we have columns here. And when we sort this, we're going to divide it. The left part is going to be 1, 2, and right part is going to be 3 and 4. And the left part, sort array left, is going to be called again, making this into 1 split into 2. So that's why I always said left part is always going to run first, and then we are going to do our right part. And after we finish sorting, we're going to do the sort method, which we are going to implement. And sort method is here. Before that, let's just go over this one more time. So we're going to divide the main array into two parts. We're going to fill out the left part, fill out the right part. So these are, if you're filling the left part, filling out the right part. And, so filling out the left part is pretty easy, but one thing you may have noticed is J start from mid, because we want from nums J, we want to go from nums J, and then we want to do right J minus mid here. So this is going to make this part into 0, but this part go from mid, basically. We're going to sort our array. We're going to go left from right. And this is all that is to it, to merge sort. Then we're going to go to sort. In sort, we basically have 3 pointers, I, J, and K. This is going to be our left pointer. This is going to be our right pointer. This is going to be our nums pointer, basically, which is nums is basically our main array. So while I is going to be smaller than left dot length and J is going to be smaller than right dot length, we're going to keep on doing this. So visual representation is something looking like this. Basically, we have 1, 2, we have 3, 4. So this is the left part. Let's just say this is the left part. This is going to be the right part. And I, J, they're going to be smaller. So when I is small, don't forget this sign, because if this doesn't exist, when you so say 1, 2, 3, 4 are different elements, right? Let's just say 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna lose an element, basically. So you always have to have this equal sign. So it's gonna be 1, obviously, because come first, then 2, then 3 and 4. That's what this part is basically saying. After we divide, this is the conquer part. This is the merge part, basically. So we're gonna keep incrementing K and I until I is smaller than left length and J is smaller than right length hits. So when either of this hits, so let's just say 1, 2, and 3, 4. Basically, I left is smaller than 3. 1. Then we're going to cross this out. We're going to look at 2 and 3, right? 2 is obviously smaller than 3. We're going to put 3. You may have realized now I, which is the left part, is now basically 2, which is left out length, which now we're going to break out of this part. Problem is, we basically have this part left, right? No pun intended. Okay, this part, right? So we're going to have 3 and 4, basically. And when we have 3 and 4, basically we're going to, so this part won't run because I is equal to left out length 1. So basically 2 equals 2. But j, which is still 0, is smaller than right out length, which is 2. So in this case, j, we didn't fill our right part, right? Smaller than our left part. So we're going to fill our array with the left part, our right part of this, okay? Yeah, and that is actually it. So all we need to do is basically we are filling our left part, filling our left part, filling our right part. Now we're going to sort, basically. After we divide, we're filling our left part, filling our right part. We're going to keep on filling these left, right until they become 1. So that's when we have this. So this is going to stop us when we keep 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to get into, like, as I said, 1, 2, and the right side is going to be 3, 4. Again, we're going to divide it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to be each have 1 element. So basically what's going to happen is we have these 4 elements, right? We're going to keep, after we keep on dividing it, now we're going to merge it, which is going to be our sort method. Our sort method basically says we're going to keep on filling these arrays based on what we have. So let's just say we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Basically, so it will be something looking like this. 1, 2, and 3 and 4 will be something like this. And after that, we're going to keep on filling until we hit our int nums. Guys, that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment. Thank you so much. Have a good day.